Greetings, people of Earth, and thank you for tuning in. Today's episode of Let's Chat Creative Pathways has a few layers. I'm recording from the studio of the incredible Pam Golden, a lifelong mentor to me and the person who first introduced me to clay when I was a kid. While Pam isn't in this episode, she generously offered her space so I could sit down with today's guest, Maryann Gibbons, a local writer, visionary, and entrepreneur. If you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, you'll catch a glimpse of one of Pam's amazing larger-than-life sculptures in the background during the first 10 minutes. After that, the focus shifts accidentally. So I've dropped in some images from the Artypants Magazine Instagram page, which is run by Maryann Gibbons. Totally worth a look if you're just listening. I hope you enjoy this chat as much as we did. We're doing it.
Doing it.
We're recording. Maryann Gibbons. Let's chat.
Here for it.
How's it going?
Good. I've been holding off on saying congratulations on you being a nonprofit.
Oh my God, thank you. So exciting.
It's such a big deal.
It's only happening because I have a treasurer, aka my husband, Jeff.
Well, a year ago, you said this I met you for coffee. You laid out all your goals, all your plans, and you did it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like having those conversations has been so helpful, like knowing you and other local entrepreneurs, because it's just like one foot in front of the other. It's just like you just do the thing, you have the idea, and then you just start doing it. And then you get somewhere.
Yes. Do you know who Seth Godin is?
No.
He basically invented email marketing.
Okay.
And he talks about the buzzer effect. So the people that win Jeopardy, they're not necessarily the smartest. They're the people that ring the buzzer before they're ready.
Oh.
And I feel like you, myself, people we're surrounding ourselves with, that's the people that get stuff done. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you're just going to ring the buzzer and get started. Right.
You know what? I think some of my training as an arts educator comes into play with that thinking style too, because, you know, when I was in school, I was training to be an arts educator for community arts education, but like for all disciplines, right? So you're learning everything. And sometimes me and my other, co-students, we would get caught up in like not really understanding everything about printmaking and this and that. And I remember a professor once saying to us, like, you just need to stay like one or two steps ahead of your students. And when they meet you there, then you just need to know where to open source find the information together.
Yes.
And so it's just like, I have a kind of an idea what I'm doing, but I'm just figuring out as you go on. And it's funny, if you go back to the first couple episodes that I've recorded, they look different, the graphics are different, the sound is different, and it's like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just changing
iterate and improve as you go. Yeah.
I know, right? And I feel like entrepreneurship is also something I always wanted to pursue, with inspiration from my husband, Jeff, because he knew he always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And his mom was always an entrepreneur. She's done lots of different types of jobs. And there's such so much creativity in that, no matter what the job is.
Yes.
Right? Like at one point when he was growing up, his mom, Debbie, owned a party rental store. So Jeff spent like a summer folding bounce houses and cleaning them up and everything like that. But it's like, you got to get creative and it's all hands on deck. But it's like, you're your own boss. You're making your own hours and decisions about what's important and what's not. So I feel like kind of all of that is rolled in here. And that's one of the reasons I'm really excited to talk to you, because not only the creative aspect, but the entrepreneur aspect that you have really just like been going for years, starting with your Plants and Ponytails pop-ups. Because even just doing a pop-up, that's like a big risk in business, but like creatively too.
Oh, yeah. Even merchandising a table, I didn't know how to do. So each step, you just get incrementally like a stronger vision. Like, what am I trying to do? Mm-hmm. And when you put yourself in a place that it's a little bit more than you're comfortable with, that's, I think, how you stretch. Mm-hmm. And refine.
Yeah. You have to figure it out. What else are you going to do?
Yes. I signed up for 6 seasons of this. So
right.
yeah.
That's amazing. So your creativity now is, of course, a lot going towards Artypants Magazine, but also your own writing. I'm really curious about your own writing journey. And I don't know if I should introduce you more for any of our viewers watching or listening. Maryann Gibbons, founder, creative director of Artypants Magazine. Is that the title you're using?
Yeah, editorial director and founder. Yeah.
Yeah. You've owned a plant shop that was absolutely gorgeous, beautifully designed, and beautiful ads. Like really thinking creatively about the imagery around that, how to draw people in, how to express what is it that we're doing here visually. So that was super fun and exciting to watch come out while you're running the plant shop. And I feel like it's that times 8,000 with Artypants Magazine. It's like you're really leaned into that.
I get the other artists to sort of amplify. Mm-hmm. Like I can't really create a ton of visual art, but I'm an appreciator and a curator. So I love, seeing one piece of work and then we have maybe 10 other artists submitted and I'm like, oh, that's going to look so perfect. And it's almost like the magazine is the walls of an exhibit.
I love that. And speaking of walls of exhibits, I have to go over to Frame Center. Maybe I'll pop by after this.
It looks so good.
It's your issue 3 is getting ready to come out, and you have a lot of the artwork framed and displayed in their upstairs gallery.
Yes. So I put out there, I would love for all these artists to have a show. I just, kind of journaled this, thought about it, and then the opportunity really presented itself where the Frame Center has been an excellent partner and they offered the exhibit space upstairs. So I just told everybody that's in this issue, hey, if you want, you can exhibit a piece from the Labyrinth. And so some of the pieces have already sold or they're not available. So it's something similar that's going to be in the issue that comes out in probably like 10 to 14 days.
So close.
Yeah, it was submitted this week. Even though it's printed locally, it gets printed in Hanson, has to go to Providence to be perfect bound. Then it comes back.
Okay.
So
still local operation. Not far.
Operation. So you can go right now upstairs, walk upstairs, and you see it's almost in page order.
So cool.
The biggest thing too is the party is the last Saturday of the month. May 31st.
Yes.
4 to 6.
Be there. I'm going to be there.
Yep. Network, meet other artists, and it's kid friendly.
Love that.
Yeah.
I know. I love that. Was that in your recent email you sent out? You're like, even if you can just run in.
Grab a hunk of cheese.
Yeah. And run back out. That's me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Your kids are at that age. Mine have a little more stamina and they can bear it. And then they'll get in the car and be like, that was awful.
Yes. But they'll remember, when I was a kid, I went to gallery openings.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The last gallery opening I think I ran into you at was one at North River.
Yes.
And I had both my kids, and within 10 minutes, my then 2.5-year-old was trying to impress everyone by how he could faux swim across the floor. And people were just like, what? It was fine, but I was like, we got to get out of here. We're going to trip someone.
This is a live demonstration.
Exactly. I know, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'll be good. I'll be happy to come to that. May or may not have children, but
I'm going to have pins made with pants. So anyone that's been affiliated with any of the issues can have an identifier. So if you see someone with a pair of Artypants on, just go say hi, ask them about their involvement and what they do.
So I'll get one because I was in issue 1.
Yeah, you'll get a pair of pants. Yeah.
That was really exciting to be in issue 1. I remember talking to you about it, and I just was so confident in your vision because I've seen your work. I've seen what you were doing with Plants and Ponytails, imagery, all your advertisements, the different photo shoots you've done. I really felt like I got your vibe already. So then when you were describing bringing in all the other artists and talking about how you'd like to expand this to be New England wide and really push it, but no issues had been released yet. So I just had this thing in my mind. I'm like, all right, I'm in. I got some pictures over to you and some information. And when it came out, it was just like.
I loved your spread. And you
thanks.
had a serendipitous photo shoot before. And
Yes.
It was also on. And I need, your support was critical because I'm trying to sell something that doesn't yet. So I really needed to enlist partners and creatives really hyper locally to be in the first issue. Then the second issue, some people I didn't know. And then this next issue, the third, I don't know a lot of people. And you sometimes don't even meet them. I just know them through their work.
That is so exciting.
I was framing a piece I have a 35 millimeter and the Frame Center show in the Labyrinth issue. And the person framing, I was like, what's your name? And she's like, Jade. I'm in the next issue. I'm like, Jade, because I only know you through your work.
Oh my gosh, I love Jade.
Yeah,
I also just recently met Jade while I was doing work at Frame Center.
Yes.
And she makes all their stickers.
Yeah, she's like this low key. And so I think print can be a really safe place. Not everyone else can feel comfortable being on a podcast. But you can, email your pitch or your submission and you can be in print and be pretty kind of hands off.
Yeah. I know, right? It's great. Yeah, you just make the work, get it to where it needs to go. And oh my gosh.
So she has a piece called Confined and it's in the exhibit. So check it out.
Keep an eye out for that. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh my gosh. So exciting for her too to have a piece of her own work displayed at the gallery at her hometown spot.
Yes.
Well, maybe not hometown, but her home work spot.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone seems very settled in and chill there. It's a pretty cool operation they have running.
Yeah, it's once the door opened, I'm like, this is an explosion of people and connections affiliated with there.
I know. I went in to get work framed a few months back and I walked out with a job to paint the windows.
They look great.
And booked a podcast. I was literally just going in to have work framed, which I did have framed and it came out beautifully. And then I think it was when I came back to pick up the work or something. I don't know. No. So I booked the podcast while I was there dropping on my work. And then during the podcast, Dave put a wholesale order in with me.
# more than a store.
I'm like, okay, between you and just a couple other regular clients I have a job as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's you just need a couple of those key clients who are recurring and all of a sudden you have business.
Yeah. And you're great at glass art, wall, what do you call that?
Window painting.
Window painting, right? That's a skill.
Thanks. Yeah, it was really cool getting into that because Sherelle from Literally Local, who you know.
Yes, and they also carry wholesale, so you can get issue 3 there.
Yes, at Literally Local, fantastic gallery in Brookline Village. Really cute location. They carry some of my work as well. And she asked me if I could do some window painting after seeing the signs I was making for myself and Lindsay Purcell because we were doing the Wicked Women Makers Market together. And
I got this necklace there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, Lindsay had those. So I made a little sign that said the price for the necklaces. And so it's just again, it's one foot in front of the other, right? It's okay, I was just doing this thing for me and Lindsay to have our little retail location pop up together. And then someone saw what I was doing and they asked and then da-da-da. And it's just...
That's my favorite part. I definitely future plan and make outlines. These are my goals, but you have to leave space for these fluid magic that happens.
I know. And I am just so obsessed with our little community here. There's something happening here.
Yeah.
What is, Maryann, what is happening?
This is a great example. So Lindsay Boss, she's the cover artist again for this issue.
Yeah,
and
love Linz.
I Googled South Shore and sound bath. And so I was like, I haven't really, when I'm doing this, I'm very masculine doing. I'm not really slowing down and unless I'm creating a real reason. So this sound bath was one of them. So we show up, we're at this woman's house in Scituate. I'm looking around, I recognize some faces. Then next to me is Courtney Champagne, who was an artist. Do you remember that spread that was a lake and it was a spell to invoke the Winter Fae?
Yes.
So she's next to me. Hadn't seen her in years. And then we're doing introductions and she was like, my name's Nina and I'm from Marshfield. I'm like, Nina Jerry, I know you. And she's like, you're Artypants. And I'm like, how is this possible that we're in this living room Googling South Shore Sound Bath? And so we have, 4 people that were in the issue in this circle. And then 60 to 80-year-old women that were from Rhode Island.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't
know. It's just there's a lot of places for people to make their art. Okay, here's something that keeps coming up for me when I just keep thinking about this. Like, what is going on around here? The community's so intense around here with the arts opportunities. And I'm from here. Like, I've grown up here. I've been here my entire life. But I didn't always know about it. It's like the roots of it has always been here, but there's something in bloom.
Yes.
I think. And I think that one of the things is like the life path that you're on when you choose to live around here. Like, you don't move here to make it in the arts in a way, right? Like, you move here for lots of different reasons, but there is space for you to just like kind of hunker down and do your own thing. It's like everyone's kind of doing their own thing, but not trying to climb on top of each other because no one's trying to like make it in a way. I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes. And I feel like once I got in the scene, I was like, it was intoxicating and I wanted to just be friends with everybody and find a way to see everything that they were doing. And then I want to tell other people like, oh my gosh, you know that someone like in Hanson makes the most beautiful oil paintings you've ever seen and just introduce it to new people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you don't have to be pursuing some huge gallery scene or, you know, make $1 million or anything. Like, you can just try to live small.
Yeah, art isn't frivolous. What's frivolous is like normalizing Saturday Target runs.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, hit up a farmer's market. Hanover Farmer's Market is just opening.
Yeah, in Kingston. I was listening to something and it was like, say you play pickleball twice a week. No one's like, or tennis, like, oh, are you going to be in Wimbledon? Like, but if you're making pottery or painting, people are like, well, what is she going to do with that? Who cares? She's enjoying herself. It's a hobby and it makes her get lost in time.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
But we don't kind of approach people who create in the same way that someone's doing a physical activity or... That's
so interesting because I'm also always trying to remind people who are just coming into the arts that I'm teaching, like, hey, you don't go play your first soccer game and be in the World Cup, right? Like, of course you're bad. Or, like, of course you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Of course you have skill building to be done.
And the odds of actually, like, being on the world team, but you can still enjoy playing soccer.
Yeah, right? When I started taking pottery seriously as an adult back in about 2015, you know, it was just skill building at first, and then friends and coworkers and people would want to buy my pieces. And so I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe this hobby can pay for itself. I made it.
Yes.
Like, that was making it.
Yes.
I had made it at that point. I was thrilled. Like, okay, like, my studio time is paid for, my materials are paid for.
That's where I am with Artypants. I'm covering my costs dead even, but it took 3 issues to do that. And so now that it's clearly, once you're even, I feel like you're a business.
Yes.
And then hopefully hustling ads is the hardest part of this whole thing. We'll be able to pay and compensate team members and writers and people like that.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like sort of met with Creative Pathways. Like, this past year, I actually broke even. I will go on record and publicly say I was positive by $7,000.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
For year one?
I guess. I mean, it's been I don't know. It's been like, I'm not tracking it well. It's been a couple years, I think, that I've got it rolling.
That's really impressive.
Thank you. Yeah. That's, you know, it's really exciting. It's like, what can you actually pay for? You know, like, my goals are higher to actually be able to pay myself a salary at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, and the IRS demands that you do so. Otherwise, it's a expensive hobby.
Exactly. Right. And so that's sort of where my husband and I decided, like, okay, it's time to actually incorporate and do something.
It's not easy to be a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I really kind of waited. I knew it was maybe going to be on the horizon, but yeah, I'm doing it. It's happening. And okay, so I want to talk about your writing, but also I feel like we need to
address
our
setting.
So today, Maryann and I are on the road. You'll notice this is not my living room couch. We are in the studio of a longtime artist mentor, auntie mode, Pam Golden, who I love so dearly. And she's so generous to offer up her studio space to us today to meet, because Maryann and I both have young families who are very busy on the weekend at home. And so we needed a space to meet. And we're at the Sandpaper Factory in Rockland. A lot of amazing artists here. And I reached out to Pam while I was driving here this morning.
This is blowing my mind.
I know, it's amazing. Yeah, I'll share some pictures of Pam's studio, and I'm going to get her on here to interview her as well. Pam's an amazing sculptor. The sculptures surrounding us have very clearly leapt seemingly effortlessly from her mind into reality. Huge background in folklore, storytelling, personal biographies, just an amazing collection of work, interactive pieces that you can pull pieces, a string on one, it has wings that go up. I mean, it's amazing. Pam's currently the art teacher at South Shore Charter School, and she also spent many, many years as the art teacher at the Inley School in Norwell. She's worked at many various locations around the community, has installations everywhere as well. You can see one of her installations in the entryway to the Marshfield Public Library. So next time you're in there, check it out. She does amazing community collaborative pieces, which that one is. I think it's like it's a tree with a bunch of leaves.
The one by the playground in Dairy Queen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that library. So when you go in the entryway in the vestibule, there's a big ceramic installation that Pam did. Yeah, she's the best. Man. It's like, I'm just like at a loss for words. Looking around, I love the idea of anyone watching this, just seeing our eyes.
No, yeah, and you have to show everything. Yeah.
I will. I'll do a quick pan. It's so good. So thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
For letting us come in here. You're the best. Love you so much. And yeah, I'll see if Pam can come to the Artypants opening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just tell her, does she like cheese?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She likes it all.
Okay.
She may even bring a baked good, which usually when she brings baked goods, she showed up and said, now, no one at my house would eat this. And I just kept throwing things in. Pam, can you confirm this? She legit shows up with like wild card baked goods at all times. So
that's great.
We'll test them first before we put them on the table for everyone. Okay, so do you have any pieces of writing in Artypants issue 3?
No, I have a couple photographs. Writing comes in waves, and I'm in Duxbury Writers Society, and so that is a great place for being accountable to my writing. We do prompts, so it forces me. Normally, I'm just writing narrative poetry, kind of observational. There's usually like a lot of symbolism with just feelings I have about relationships or how we navigate ourselves. But it comes in waves, and lately, it's started to spurt up. I think it's because I submitted the magazine, so there's a lot less pressure. But generally, the way that looks is like I'll be unloading the dishwasher, and I'll just get like one line. Or like we'll have dinner as a family, and somebody will say something absurd, and I'll be like, that's the first line of the poem, or that's a poem title. And then it's just like an urgency that I need to get this out.
Yeah.
So I'll write it in my notes on my phone, or I'll find a Post-it. Sometimes as I'm trying to fall asleep, it'll happen. And I'm like, oh, blue light, don't get your phone. But you don't want to lose the thought. So I will, and I love writing at the beach. So, or in the yard with a cup of coffee. So I think this summer will be, I'm realizing I want to create one quality issue a year for Artypants. That's like the best I can do with a full-time job.
Okay.
Like one delicious quality issue.
I love that.
It takes so much work to get ads. So a lot of it is hustling for the ads to pay for the project. And then I need the summer because I'm a beach person. I love being in the yard like you. That is when I get to flow and create and make space for art.
That's great. So it seems like your writing process may begin with just being present.
Yeah. Really like in this locked into the moment of whatever we're doing and not thinking about, oh, did I sound like an idiot when I talked to that person? Or did I send that email? or what I got to do in the future, I am like right there.
So great. So when you're in the yard, you're like, yeah, just trying to like be in there, feel the sun, feel the breeze. And then it's like opening a channel to like allow things to come in.
Yes. And I know that I have to be in the space of go doing to get stuff done. And even when I'm making the magazine, I'm there sometimes.
So after you have one line, then do you have a bunch of pieces going at various
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
paces?
unfinished, and those are handwritten. So I do journal every day, and so a lot of things will start, and then I'll remember. Oh my gosh, go back in your notebook. So your notebook practice, mine's similar but less colors. It's just a lot of, and I alternate between cursive and print, and then I have a lot of files on my computer. So my hope is, and I can get a lot done when I say, hey, you're going to write for an hour, and kind of going through the notebook, the phones, and kind of melding it all together.
I love that. So it's sort of like you're going about your life, trying to be present when you can, capture those gems when they come to you, and then it's almost like you're quilting later.
Yeah, yes.
You're pulling it all together, you're stitching, what goes here, what patterns.
I'll even forget.
emerge.
I'm like, you wrote that? Like, you wrote that 4 months ago? And then that 2 lines will go with something I wrote today.
That is so great. So what is it like being in the Duxbury Writers Group?
I mean, these people are brilliant. Some of them have such dedicated practices, like they're writing maybe a second novel. They have agents. It's a really great place if you're a writer and want to understand the query process or just be accountable. So there are people who are just like hobbyists like me. Like it's 2 hours. The second hour is a prompt. So there might be 4 prompts. Like what one of them that I did recently was tell a story from the perspective of a squirrel in autumn.
Oh my gosh.
Or you just got out of Stop and Shop and your car is out of the parking lot and a blizzard's coming.
Right.
So, it's forcing you to have to write. And usually we all sit around the table and there's a little writer's block. And then all of a sudden everyone's typing and typing and typing. And someone will be like, Danny, who's our leader, she's from Duxbury and she's going to write an incredible novel, historical fiction about rum running. So like the bootlegging after World War I, it's going to be great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And people will be like, I need 2 more minutes. And then we go around and we share. And you also show up with work that you want to share. And at first I noticed a lot of us, it was predominantly women, but there were men in our group. They would say, oh, like, it's not that good. And we're not allowed to do that anymore. So you cannot preface like reading your work with just trivializing it.
I love that.
And we're all constructive with feedback. And if you're looking like, tell me about the tone people are getting some really good insight.
Great.
Or just encouragement.
I love it.
We'll have an open mic night in July. And that is at King Caesar Barn. It's a really historical building. And anybody in the community can join. So we'll heavily promote it if you follow at Duxbury Writers Society on Instagram, because you sign up, you read 2 minutes of any work that you have. There's a wine truck.
Oh my God.
It's just like such a beautiful scene. Even just to come as a spectator is great.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. So I've fallen into creative writing when I've had other visual channels blocked out for me because of life circumstance. Having infants,
Yes,
you know, like just different. I mean, really, okay, I guess that's mostly it. Having infants basically is a lot. So I started writing a book.
Oh, I didn't know that. Tell me more.
Years ago. And yeah, it's just like about this woman who's completely overwhelmed with her 2 young children. Semi-autobiographical, right? And she just gets on the highway and starts driving. And she lands at a place that is a place that I merged from Pam Golden. So it's like Pam Golden, but it's at my aunt has, in real life, my aunt has a house in Winnipesaukee.
Ah.
So it's like landing on that beautiful place, but it's like a Pam vibe person and like kind of mixed in with my aunt vibe too. But it's about like going there and just like falling apart and putting yourself back together.
Ooh.
And,
Well, if you ever like need like an hour to just like, hey, I'm going to continue this, I have a dormant book as well.
really?
Yeah, the main character, her name is Marcy, and she's obsessed with nostalgia, but it's dangerous to her. Do you remember Elio's Pizza?
Yeah.
So like in 2020, someone in this book makes up that Elio's is going under, so she buys like different domains like www.eliosforever.com. Also, do you remember like when the Skittles, like they canceled green and it became apple?
Okay.
So she makes it, so she has a room in her house called the War Room, and she's just scrambling and buying domains.
Oh my God.
But it gave her a lot of cash because she does merch. But she kind of becomes obsessive and compulsive about getting these domains in advance for these. They're all not even real crises that happen on TikTok. Wow. Like they've said Elio's was going under. They really weren't.
Oh my gosh.
But people believed it. And so they bought all the T-shirts. And so she's kind of a genius, but she's also flawed.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
So yeah, her name is Marcy, and she loves graphic tees and Levi's.
This is the best. Yeah. I just got some new Levi's. These were $30.
I noticed those. Those are great.
$30.
Whoa, Marketplace or?
No, Derby Street, Levi. They have like a sale area.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to ask it. It's not really written out. They don't have good signage for it.
Secret sales.
If you ask.
Now it's out.
Yeah, now it's out. Heard it here first. $30 Levi's. Of course, they have to have your size.
I got these in Sedona. These are Banana Republic. And I was really excited to buy these.
Oh my gosh. Were you so inspired being in Sedona? It seems so visually almost overwhelming.
It's another
when
planet.
You're coming from New England.
Yeah, you just look in your periphery and this red, it's like your clay. You see that. And then the way the blue sky hits it, it's a palette so unfamiliar that it's like you're tripping. Not that I would know anything about that in my life.
Naturally.
You are naturally tripping.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely loved driving through the Southwest. I did a cross-country road trip with Jeff when we were, I don't know, like 22. And that was the same feeling, I think. It was just so different than here. It's like in New England, it's just like everything's so hilly. Where we are too, like we don't really have mountains right where we are near the coast, but like so many hills, you can never see a quarter mile away.
Oh yeah, and you could see the whole city.
Yeah.
So when your kids get stamina and more miles in their legs, you should take them.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd your kids do?
They loved it. We did the Grand Canyon, but going back up, one of them almost quit. And I was like, you kind of can't. Like when you go down, you got to go back up.
I know. What
are you gonna do? My husband and I saw a coyote right on the trail. And like we've seen coyotes around here. They're everywhere. But this was a Southwest coyote. And it's 7 a.m. and we're in Sedona. And he said, honey. And I was like, why is he saying honey like that? I felt like I was in trouble. Like he never talks to me like honey like that. And I look and it's like right where that dude is. Oh my God. And just staring at me. And you're supposed to get big and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I just turned around and started walking really fast. And then it was following us.
No.
Yes. I almost went on that hike myself.
Were you on a trail?
There's a trail right by the house. It's called the Brewer Trail. It's near the airport trail, which is pretty famous, and near a vortex. So I wanted to be in this vortex. And
what do you mean a vortex?
So the day before, vortexes are just these like natural phenomenons where people feel, they come from all over the world to feel this feeling. It's like you're tapping into a frequency of healing.
What?
And there are known vortexes throughout Sedona, and like you can find them on Google Maps. But
I don't know anything about this. This is very exciting.
There were people doing healing in a drum circle, so they were like hogging it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to go privately explore it. So after my adrenaline kind of settled, and I said, oh, I actually want to go to the vortex. So we walked back, and then we sat at the top in silence. And
how was it?
It was great, but I think I still had coyote adrenaline.
Yeah. Do you think the coyote was trying to also use the path?
I had 3 dreams about coyotes before we went. Mm-hmm. And these dreams, these coyotes, we were just passing each other. We were making eye contact. I was never scared, but I was kind of like, warning me? Hey, we're going to meet?
Yeah. This is wild.
Yeah.
Like actually wild, like wildlife.
It was, yes. It's like
Hashtag wildlife.
yeah, it's another, like here we have like parasites. So when you go for a walk, like you might get Lyme disease. It's like that serious here. But there, it's a rattlesnake or a coyote.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We have like sleepy, like, or like sleeper.
Dangerous.
Sleeper scares.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you don't really know. Sometimes you just have a mark
Yes.
left behind.
Is this what you wanted to talk about? I'm sorry. How did I get here?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
We just chatting. Okay, so did you have any experiences traveling when you were a kid?
No. My kids are living like a glorious travel experience life.
So cool.
Yeah, I went abroad to Australia in college, but my kids have been like to Copenhagen at like 8 years old. So
that's really cool.
yeah. No, I did not.
You're inspiring.
I am happy that they have these experiences.
And what type of creative stuff were you getting into when you were a kid? Were you doing like making books, doing writing?
You know, I looked back at some bin my dad had kept, and, you know, I really wrote this crazy, I loved McDonald's as a kid, like obsessed.
Who doesn't?
About like a McDonald's inventive machine. But honestly, around like 12, 13, it was a faucet that shut off for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like a mini grown up. So I realize now I can't be creative unless I feel safe. And so, yeah, I was raised by a single dad. It was kind of a, you know, no parents around. And I was like a little adult doing stuff, running stuff, which serves me well. It speaks to my personality of getting a lot done. But I did, until after I had my kids, it didn't really turn back on.
That's so interesting, because then you could sort of maybe like you're forced into seeing things from their perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, like Calico Critters, man. I made a lot of setups with those.
Right? Yeah. Those things are so cute.
I love them. I miss like waking up and seeing like a little vignette in the corner of the house.
Yeah. You've seen those at my house, right? Like you just come over to my house, it's just a weird little
We
doll
still
things.
have Barbies, but they're starting to like retire. It's sad.
Yeah. They're on their way.
Yeah.
On their way out.
But I'll gather some bins for Hazel. And Max.
Okay, what about like cooking? Do you like to cook?
Yes, more so than bake. I love like making a wild herb garden, and then, you know, just like throwing it in a pasta or chicken and just being like, this is delicious.
Oh,
and just, yeah.
Okay, so not a lot of planning. That seems like more approachable.
No,
for
actually,
me.
Tonight I'm making chicken marsala from New York Times.
Oh,
A3 in Kingston. If you've ever been there, it's like good for fancy pizza night.
yes. Is it right near the train?
Yes,
tracks?
it's delicious.
Okay.
But their chicken marsala, I want to replicate it. So
Okay.
that's the plan tonight. I have everything I need except marsala wine. So I think I'm going to get it, today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I need to get into cooking more. I love gardening, so I do grow lots of herbs, but like literally just where I just show the kids, I'm like, look, you can eat this. And they're like, oh my God. And then we
Do you
move
make
on.
teas?
No, I do not.
Or even infusions would be your jam, because you can just take a big mason jar and make a sun tea. So it would sit in the sun for like 48 hours.
Oh.
And it's very witchy too. You can add crystals, you can set intentions.
Okay, I kind of was doing that yesterday. I was trying to garden, and so I had to keep coming up with games that involved my 3-year-old running away from me on a project. So he was a butterfly, and then I would send the butterfly off to collect dandelions for me, and so he'd be out collecting all the dandelions, and I'd be weeding.
I never did it, but dandelions are like such a potent, amazing tea.
So that's what we were doing. I had a mason jar just out there randomly for our mud kitchen, and we were filling it up with water.
We know some sort of herbalist witch, probably in this building, who can tell you what to do with the dandelions.
Yeah, absolutely. I just met another herbalist witch lady, Faith. I can't remember your last name, Faith something, from East Bridgewater, and she lives on a Christmas tree farm.
Oh, I know someone who lives on a Christmas tree farm too.
Oh, yes, you do. The reason I was there is because we were getting together for our future planning group.
Yes.
And we were there, and it was such an amazing, magical little property.
It really is.
It's the best, and it's right near this amazing walking path you can go on. So there's these trails that sort of go out. I don't want to blow up the spot because it's kind of like a beautiful little like secret.
And it's not Megan Kruger, right?
No.
That's who owns a Christmas tree farm.
No, I haven't met her yet, but it is right there. These amazing walking trails. And then a few days later, when a totally separate friend of mine was on those walking trails and sent a picture actually, she posted it to Instagram. I'm like, I think I know who made this. And it was at the roots of a tree. There was this like beautiful candle that had like wax dripped and some little like beautiful little witchy assemblage.
Ooh.
And I sent it to Faith. I was like, was this you? And she was like, yeah, you know me too well. So legit, like,
wow.
So many ways to be creative.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
In this life.
Yes.
I love it. Again, just the
and usually I make, a connection with a new plant each season. I don't know what it is yet, but usually one year it was moonflowers. Yeah, it just happens.
Yeah.
And, you get to know it. I will take it on a date. I'll have tea. I'll press it in a book and just kind of learn about its spirit. All plants have a spirit.
Right?
Yeah.
This is amazing. And so this is another really cool practice. Being in the garden, learning more about plants, taking them, pressing them, figuring out how to do that. And it's almost like, it's like a layering effect. So you're doing that, you're gardening, you're pressing, you're doing this. And I bet those are the moments where you're having lines come to you.
Yes.
For your poetry. Are you usually writing short poems? Are you doing longer poems?
Yeah, they're pretty short. A challenge I have was more of like long form writing. That's why Marcy, I want to dig more into her story. But the poems are like a download and I just need to do it. So it's not really up to me how long they are.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You kind of see where they take themselves,
yeah.
I guess. Okay, so tell me more about the Duxbury Writers, like the open
mic nights.
Mic
so we have
situation.
2 a year. I mean, we've been writing by the sea since 2023, and we had one at the library last month.
Okay,
and that's open to I never would have known. There's Plymouth Writers Society. There's Duxbury Poets Society. There's all these like micro writing groups all over the community.
I didn't know either.
Yeah, and you could sense like. It was like a great thing to be gathering together.
Great. So a bunch of these places are coming together for the open mics.
Yes. Yep. You get 2 minutes. And then there's just people who might have seen a posting at the library and it's Sign Up Genius. So it's a great way, or maybe you want to be accountable to sharing. For me, why I wanted to share is I get, it's not happening to me as much. I think we have a...
Oh my gosh. Is this your Annalise ring?
Yes.
Is the Mind's Eye Collective?
I might have to take the ring off. Hold on. Mic check 1, 2.
Oh my gosh. Annalise Austin, Mind's Eye Collective makes beautiful jewelry. I love that.
Isn't it great? I bought it and then said to my husband, give this to me for Christmas. At Wicked Women's Market.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's a great market.
So then the next one, we're having like a planning committee because this one, we have to rent the space. We pay for a wine truck. So it's a little bit more planning than showing up at the library.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, my nervous system was getting hijacked anytime I was publicly speaking.
Yeah.
So I wanted to challenge myself because I do think it's something like a muscle it can get stronger and you can work through it. So I've done 3 open mic nights now, and each time my heart is pounding out of my chest less and my voice is cracking less.
Great. And yeah, I think that when you're needing to go throughout the community and focus on advertising for Artypants, that's huge, just to be able to confidently express what exactly is going on with that. And it's something I've really looked to you on as far as figuring out how to explain a big concept, because Artypants is a really big concept. You have a lot going on. There's a lot of different angles you could talk about.
Yes.
Your whole partnership with Chandler Kay is very interesting, and I feel like you could do an hour on that.
We're actually going to be doing Aja. It's basically a professional organization for designers, and she's a designer by trade and skill, and we're going to do a panel virtually. So if people are in the Aja organization, they pay to get kind of curriculum and work on their professional development. So together we're going to explain how we make the magazine.
Great. And that'll be like a seminar people can register for?
Yeah, members and non-members can register. So I'll put it on Instagram and through my newsletter.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this organization.
Yeah, it's AIGA, and they're all over the country, but this is the Boston one. So we formed a partnership with them.
Great.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yes.
So you guys are going to be able to talk about your process and just how everything comes to fruition.
Yes. Essentially, I build out the pages, and then I ping her. I love this time. We've had such great process of how we communicate with each other. But I'll ping like, this page is done. And sometimes she'll go in and she kind of gives me the thumbs up. I'm like, yeah, I did it. I nailed it. And then other times it's like a total rework. Like this needs to be 2 columns. And you're like, I understand. So the collaborative process, I have gained so much from.
I love that. And what is your actual like software that you're using? Are you on Google Docs?
It's interesting. I've been like hesitant to say this. It's Canva because that's what I use. And it's been a learning curve for her to use it because designers, that's not what they use.
Yes. There's parameters on Canva.
Parameters, some things she inherently just doesn't love about it. Like it's, but for me, the learning curve, the first issue, I totally made it. And she just checked the pages at the end. And now it's more collaborative. Like one exciting change is we're using Gaia font as our header font.
Cool.
She selected that, and then you have to buy it, and we import it because it's not a standard Canva font.
I have follow-up questions on this because I've been downloading fonts lately as I've been working on drafts for window painting and the text I'm doing. But I also use Canva to block things out. And I haven't figured out how to import my font that I've downloaded into Canva.
Oh, yeah, you can.
So, yeah, this is probably like a little Google, but it'll be good to know that I have other people I can hit up for
You can.
these
And then,
tips.
you want to make sure you're downloading the bold and the italic because they don't always come in with the license.
Yeah. And so are you guys communicating just like email? Is that your main thing?
Yeah, it's mostly email. And then like the last wrap-up call, we were on the phone for 2.5 hours and we went individually through each page. So
awesome.
And then, it felt like less down to the wire. So one of the pain points we processed is like we didn't want that feeling of urgency at the end. And so I think we worked so well together that we were able to feel like it's ready without this like deadline crisis feeling.
It's like good enough.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. It felt really good.
Which still, like we were saying earlier, a lot of times
that's
the
how you
best is to just do, okay, this is good enough.
And truly
just get
that's
it out.
how it had to start.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to refine, you're going to make processes, you're going to process like what went well, what didn't, what do we want to change? But you got to just start.
Yeah, that's great. And you guys, did you both go out to Palm Springs for that conference? There was like an entrepreneurial conference you went to, and that was something that I took note of because the way you described it, it's this beautiful setting in Palm Springs, the Segura Hotel.
Yeah, and actually it's like undergoing renovation. So this year it wasn't there, but I didn't go this year.
Oh, I went to that Segura Hotel once.
It's such a vibe.
Yeah, I was just hanging out there for the day, for like at the pool area and get some tacos and stuff. It was awesome, but it seemed like you were the conference was one that was like lots of female entrepreneurs, and it's like you were essentially having to pitch your business a million times.
Yes, I think that's the only way to get more succinct. I used to be really long-winded when I would describe it.
I'm so long-winded with Creative Pathways.
And now I'm very clear that I have 3 goals with Artypants. The first is to reinvigorate print. The second is to amplify New England creators. And then the third is, this is a good practice, is to ignite dormant creativity and readership.
Ignite dormant creativity and readership. So so accessibility, like trying to prove through practice that you can just make the damn thing. Yeah.
And like just democratizing the enjoyment, the consumption and creation of art. Like I feel like it's kind of like, oh, those are like the art, those are my art friends, or those are the people that do art. Like anybody can be doing creative things. You could be making a t-shirt for your family vacation, and that's creative.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. That immediately brings to mind some of my friends who have made the most fantastic outfits to go see Taylor Swift concerts.
Yeah.
Like the gemstones, the funny fonts and words you're putting on there. Yeah. It's just like such a vibe. Yeah. Making your Halloween costumes, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, it just goes back to like feeling like art is frivolous. It's not. It's really essential to doing all the other things. So like when I have to sit down with my 3 screens and get a deck done for work, I am able to do that because my weekend was rich with like exploring in the garden, maybe writing a poem, because like I have deposits and gas in the tank that let me do the business.
Yeah, and your current business, you are still using a good chunk of your creative brain with your like 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I just say like the content doesn't come naturally into me to understand.
Right.
So that's where it feels more work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about, I'm selling engineer consultants and their profound knowledge.
Right.
But engineer brains are different than mine.
That is so cool that you're having to figure out how to make those different levels of translations through communication too.
Yeah. So it makes me talk to a lot of people. So like I talk to a lot of artists about how do you make this work? And engineers, SMEs, like they're the subject matter experts, and I'll dig out of them, how do you do what you do? Mm-hmm. It's the same process, but one is more my people.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious more about your work. Like so you're making...
I'll make like big campaigns that I'm really selling our services.
Okay. So they're going out to additional...
These are people that are making, so like at, different pharmaceutical places that are making vaccines or medicine, to make sure that the medicine can be made, the water has to be right, the equipment has to be right, and engineers are the people that do that. So we really usually think of just the scientists. The engineers are essential to that process of making therapies too.
Right. So you're helping to communicate like what the needs are?
Yeah, like to sell our people to different companies.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
That is a whole nother world.
It is, but I mean, it's all translatable. Like if I'm going to make an email campaign, like I want to know, like, why did people click on this link versus why did that underperform that campaign?
Yeah. I love your emails.
They they really come from me. But a pain point I'm working on is like, how do you delegate? Because you can't be doing everything at once while keeping the same tone.
Right. So how are you figuring that out?
I'm working on it. I have a great editorial assistant who's been a real great support with outreach for the ads.
Yeah.
But I had to create those templates. This is how we want to talk to people. This is what we want to say the project is. And then I think once you're in it, you're going to buy and understand, oh, I get this.
Yeah, just kind of making sure you have a good initial strong intro.
Yeah.
That explains what's going on.
And understanding human behavior. Like business owners are flying. They get so many emails a day. How do you catch them? Like a strong subject line matters.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tricky.
Without being sleazy, like on LinkedIn, so have you ever gotten those like in-mails and they're like, missed you this week? And you're like, what? Wow, did I miss you?
I know. I for sure missed something this week. Was this the thing?
Yeah.
Turns out no.
Yeah.
There was something else.
So it's like a fine line of like, catching the reader with what you're selling, but also not being sleazy.
Yeah. And you did a ton of pre-order sales, and that was like a big email campaign push. And I mean, all your social channels, I guess you pushed for pre-orders. And that seemed to go pretty well.
Yes. It really would be hard to create a magazine knowing like no one's going to buy this thing.
Yeah.
So the pre-orders give you what you need in the account so that I can pay the printer. And also, a few writers were paid. We have really high caliber writing in this issue, and we were able to compensate them.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I know. What about like interns? Do you ever think about getting interns?
It's like this 40-hour a week is hard, but
Yeah.
I'd say enlisting an editorial assistant was huge for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So each issue, I'm finding a way to amplify the process.
It's tricky. I've had one intern so far on my programs, and yeah, it's like, it's an exciting opportunity to get someone like up and coming and wanting to learn, but and they absolutely did help get a bunch of stuff done that I wouldn't have been able to organize myself or hadn't made the time for. But it is a trade. It's not like you're just getting someone's, like, it's not like you're actually freeing that many hours up for yourself.
Yeah, because you have to invest in the education
Right.
before you can step away. So it's all a process.
Yeah, I know. And you've hired staff. So you've done staffing before for Plants and Ponytails. I've worked places since, I guess, I don't know, 2012. 2013, I started at the YMCA and I was in management. Yeah, so I guess I've worked for a lot of places where I've overseen staff, but I've never like developed it myself.
Yes.
It's a very different thing.
It really is.
Yeah.
It makes you have to really amp up your communication skills, like, because you're like me, it's all in your head, it's whirling and swirling, and then you got to like get to the point. What do you need?
I know, right? It's so tough too. Like I have all my clay stuff, and I have different different pieces of it in different areas of my garage and my basement. And now Creative Pathways is bleeding in there. So now I always have like a big 2x3 foot collage that I'm working on and bringing back and forth with my latest community group that I've been working with. And I'm also making big paper mache sculptures for North River right now.
I can't wait to see this. Do you have puppeteers awesome. For them, or are you the puppeteer?
Me and Hazel, and maybe Max.
Oh, I saw that hat today.
The crown.
He's going to get jealous. You just have to proactively make it.
I have a crown. I do have a crown for him in process as well. But it's like a little bit topsy-turvy, so I think I'm going to have to figure out how to fix it onto a helmet. That's amazing. And then attach the helmet to his head, because it's like a really, really, really tall crown.
There's a lot of source material in here just for inspiration.
I know, actually. Yeah. I should probably send Pam some pictures of things before I leave and ask if I can take them.
Well, you need an engineer.
Right? I know, you really do. Yeah, that'll be a fun day. And I remember seeing you last year at North River Arts Festival.
Yeah, I'll be there at the preview party. I am the check-in. Mm-hmm. And then I'm also there on Sunday. And my daughter, I told her she's volunteering too.
Great.
And we're at the merch tent. So we'll be there. Yeah.
I really, I know I'll be there. I don't know exactly when. It's tough, yeah, when my kids are the age they are. Even for like a family-friendly festival, it's like, well, I have a 3-year-old,
yeah,
so.
Yeah, and you're still like technically in nap era, but when the day's going so well, you just kind of like do it in the car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, he doesn't nap. If Max naps, then everyone's up till 10 at least.
My youngest was like that.
But that's going to be a really fun day. I know we're hoping to meet up with some of our art friends one of those days. I can't wait. Yeah. Our entrepreneur friends. Lots of really good vendors.
Do you have work in the barn? Are you doing art in the barn?
I don't know, because most of my work is 3D right now, you know? I think that Creative Pathways could eventually get stuff in there. I have dreams of having like a Creative Pathways tent there, maybe in another year.
Yes.
Where we would have work that's made in community. So like right now I'm working with a bunch of people who live in an apartment building in Brockton, and I don't know. It's kind of an ongoing project. We don't have a deadline of when I'm going to stop. I'm there weekly, awesome. And I think it's like as long as we all enjoy working together.
Yes.
So I'm hoping to invite, I have invited them to come to the fair so they could kind of like see what it's all about, because I don't think any of them have been to it before, and then kind of like pitch the idea to them, like, all right, well, what if over the next year we just chip away at a couple things that,
almost empower them to make the pitch and what it would look like once they see it.
Yeah. Because especially where we're doing greeting cards, like what if we can make a ton of greeting cards and that'll be what we sell?
Yeah.
And then the money goes back to them, obviously, because we're a nonprofit.
Unbelievable.
I know. It's like, when do you become a nonprofit? Like, well, when you're essentially not profitable. Like, if you can just pay yourself.
501c3s are a ton of paperwork. Like, you had a lot of stuff to do to get there.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for doing that. It was nice. He just lets me know. And my mom is a clerk for the business.
So do you have to have a board?
Yes, you do have to have a board. So I'm the president, Jeff is the treasurer, and my mom is a clerk. She found out after the fact.
And you need a treasurer and a secretary, or not necessarily?
No, not necessarily. No. You just need 3 people.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens with all of that. What about Artypants? I would love to see Artypants more involved with North River over the next year.
I'm volunteering. And I guess I can't. What I've realized is I can't do something while I'm developing the magazine. It's all hands on deck. But then there is space for expansion, brand awareness building, connecting with different artists in the off season. So definitely open to the possibilities there.
And you've been doing essentially every 6 months. You've got these 3 issues out. Yeah, there's been 3
issues since November of 2023. But I've really gain a strong understanding of what's needed to make the quality publication, and the ads take up so much that I want to basically know who the partners are going to be and then work on the content.
I love that. Yeah, so you're kind of figuring out how to pace it, how to kind of ebb and flow with different parts of the process.
Yeah, and I like making a strong theme and really kind of living in that space. What does this look like? This theme, Labyrinth, was made under duress in a way because WBZ reached out
Yeah.
and they were like, hey, you want to be on? These are the dates. And I was like, that's so amazing. I don't know what the next magazine's going to be about.
Yeah.
So I went to Portland, Maine, and we sort of figured it out. Okay. And then as I've deep dived on labyrinths, it's just become so expansive. It's like a rabbit hole, and that's what I'm hoping will happen with readers, that you might have heard of a labyrinth, you might be thinking of David Bowie, but it's just going to blow your hats off.
There's a labyrinth at that place in East Bridgewater where that magical little walking garden is.
Is it in the woods?
No, it's like right before you enter into the woods from it, because there's a senior center.
Is it made with rocks? Or what's okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know. I can't believe you didn't know about that one. Now that you're making a magazine with the focus labyrinth, I feel like you need to know about where all the labyrinths are.
So there's a locator in the magazine that we got permission from the National Labyrinth Society to use. So you just scan the QR code and you can put your what labyrinth you want to go to.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait.
Yes, and then we interview a world-renowned labyrinth creator who's made hundreds of labyrinths around the world.
Stop.
Yes.
This is so exciting.
And what she communicates, it's going to blow your mind.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Do you know if you're going to get some of the artists at the opening or the reception? Because it's not really an opening. The show's already open. Go see the show at Frame Center now.
I think a good amount are going to be there. I think a good amount will be there. And some of the work has sold, which I'm so thrilled about.
Mm-hmm. That really is very exciting.
Yeah,
have some red dots up there.
Yeah.
I'm stopping there. So I drove past there on my way here today.
Oh, good. Go explore it.
Yeah, so I'm going to backtrack and head back. Yeah, the window painting there has been interesting too, because I've been a customer, right? So I'm like parking there, I'm walking in, I'm looking at the signs, the windows like a customer. I never drive by that stretch of road, just where it is.
I agree.
I never drive by that. I'm right near that location a lot. But now, when I drove by it today, I'm like, okay, the next big window painting I do there, I'm going to make it for drivers. So I'm going to make lots of bigger text because there's so much small text.
Yeah.
Because the one right now that has the advertisement for...
It has 4 shows. And,
one...
And then the festival.
The festival one.
Yeah.
So the 4 shows will have to stay smaller text, but the larger one, the festival one right now is for the North River Arts Fair, which is Memorial Day weekend, everyone. Go there. And the next one is going to be for Levitate.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And you can buy Artypants at Levitate this year.
Oh, wait. At the shop?
Yeah.
At the surf shop?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you know if they'll have it in both locations?
I'm not sure. They ordered it and they will decide how to distribute it.
Yeah. Okay. So check out Levitate. Literally local. You mentioned Frame Center also will be selling them.
Slack Tide Coffee.
Slow
Rodeo Coffee in Maine.
Okay. Great. I love a Maine location.
Yeah. We want to stretch the catchment, and Chandler, the brand director, lives in Maine.
Is that in Portland?
Yep.
Great. Oh my gosh. I have friends and family in Portland.
In Rhode Island.
Matriarch in Rhode Island. That's a cool name for a shop. What is that place?
So she's amazing. Amy, I can't remember her last name right now, but essentially she is in the she's a foodie, she's a recipe developer. Those shirts, Smash the Garlic and the Patriarchy.
That's gosh, I've not seen those, but I love it.
There's a lot of double entendres with her work. Cool. Yeah, I think you actually just check it out.
Yeah, I'll swing in there. That's great.
It's in Newport.
Oh, Newport.
Yes.
Okay, Newport. Wonderful.
And then Frame Center.
And people can order them.
And you can still order wholesale for your shop. You just need a minimum of 10.
Yep.
Code wholesale at checkout.
That's like a really good deal. You only have to get 10. That's like a really generous opening wholesale
And the stories
offer.
are evergreen. I want you to be able to pick up an issue of Artypants in a year from now and not be like, oh, this is dated or this. So.
It's really fun collecting them too. I have issues 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Right next to each other, and then I'm really excited to keep adding on.
And this is 20 pages more than we've ever had. So it was 47 pages. This is 68, including the back cover.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Because there's more long-form stories.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool.
I like to say we shared dessert with you before, and now we want to sit with you for a full meal.
Oh, I love that. That is so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so Artypants Magazine, available for order.
Yep. You go to www.artypantsmagazine.com. Order it now. It's $5 shipping, or you can come to the Frame Center party. There'll be a ton of copies, and you can get one there.
Yeah. All right.
And just if you're an artist and you're interested, just like follow the project, join the newsletter. When there's an open call for pitches, whether it's needing a writer or artist, you'll be informed. I blast it.
Yeah, there really are a lot of different ways to get involved, whether you just want to sell wholesale, contribute art,
be a writer.
Writing. And I know you do, sometimes you'll throw out calls for people to come and just help edit.
Yes, a proofing party. We had 3 copy editors this time, but proofing parties are helpful too.
Yeah, so fun. It's just like another opportunity for a community too. If you're someone who lives around here or doesn't even live around here, it's just like a way to get involved. And I feel like, when I'm talking about like how our community is bursting here, like if you just move to this community, it might be hard to kind of figure out where stuff is. Because again, no one's throwing themselves out there too much.
A lot of this work is made in silos. So that's why this kind of party is a way for everyone to be together. And usually people are exchanging their like their Instagram handle because then they're like, oh, I know you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It sort of happens naturally. So just, if you want to be involved, just like show up to the thing. Yeah. Show up to any of the things and
the
just
DMs
like be there.
are open. You can email, message me on the account.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
No, thank you so much. This is such a cool way to start Sunday.
I know.
And my brain's exploding now.
I got my Slack Tide coffee. I feel like my regular coffee I make at my house is just like my medication I take, and then I go order a latte.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Maryann.
Thank you,
It's
Beth.
been great.
Congratulations
Thanks.
on the 501c3.
It's very exciting times.
Yes.
We're doing it. We're just one foot in front of the other.
Well,
From us and our toilet paper roll microphones.
Yeah. And I didn't do this on purpose, but cool, right?
I should have brought, I know, right? We kind of match.
Yeah.
I should have brought I got like new pink platform Crocs inspired from Carla Hunter has platform orange Crocs. And they're so much fun.
And Carla Hunter's in the magazine too.
Oh, she is?
Yes.
And she also has work on display at Frame Center right now.
Downstairs and up now.
Yeah. I actually do too. Some of my mugs are there. They were supposed to be only on sale for the month of April, but then I just didn't pick them up yet. I'll probably grab them on my way back. I also owe them another order of mugs I should probably drop off. So yeah, all the things, art and community, be a part of it. We love you. We'll see you there.
Go create or enjoy people's creations.
Go team.
Bye.